Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 5th of July 2026 and the month of July, guys, looks like it is having a promising start for the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now the prices of Bitcoin and the global cryptocurrency market is marginally pumped up, but here's the important thing to remember, guys. In the month of July, there are quite a lot of important dates, and what we'll do, Satoshi, later on in today's episode, we'll go ahead and discuss the importance of these dates. The first one, according to me, is the CPI data, which will be out on the 14th of July. After that, on the 17th of July is the Clarity Act hearing, and according to me, Satoshi, both of these hearings will directly and indirectly impact the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Then on the 18th, Satoshi, there's also a final stablecoin rule, and here's the thing, guys, 6 federal agencies must publish the final Genius Act rules, and this will be affecting a $230 billion market. And finally, on the 29th of this month, we do have an FOMC announcement, and the new FOMC chair, that is Kevin Walsh, will be making a decision whether to keep the interest rate, reduce it or increase it. So am I right in saying, Satoshi, these dates will directly and indirectly impact the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies?
That's right, George. It seems like there's a lot lined up this month, and we'll be diving deep into all of it, from the CPI data to the Clarity Act hearing, stablecoin rules, and the FOMC announcement. It's going to be a packed episode today.
It definitely will be, Satoshi, and we also have 4 macro level news that we're going to be touching in today's episode. The first one, Satoshi, is connected to MiCA, that is Market in Crypto Asset Regulations, and there's a company that focuses on Bitcoin called as Wavespace. They're using Lightning Network, and the news, Satoshi, is that they have launched something called as MiCA Debit Card. So in today's episode, we'll go ahead and explain what this news is all about. Now the second news, Satoshi, according to me, is a really interesting news, and this is connected to a blockchain that is Solana, and looks like Solana committee, guys, they have worked on something called as on-chain governance system. So in today's episode, we'll go ahead and update more information to our listeners. Now the third news, Satoshi, is unfortunately also connected to MiCA, but this is connected to a fintech company called as Revolut, and the news is that they have decided to delist USDT, and this is because of MiCA regulations, isn't it? So it looks like MiCA regulations is having a massive impact, and it is important to note, guys, on the 1st of July is when the enforcement did actually kick in, isn't it, Satoshi?
Absolutely, George. Seeing developments like the MiCA debit card and Solana's move towards on-chain governance really shows the industry evolving. And the impact of MiCA on companies like Revolut, forcing them to delist USDT, highlights how critical these regulations are becoming, especially with the enforcement kicking in earlier this month. We have a lot to unpack.
We definitely do have a lot to unpack. Now the final news that we're going to be talking about is connected to Vitalik Buterin, who by the way is the co-founder of Ethereum, and he has put out some really interesting information regarding lean Ethereum, and the website for this, guys, is strawman.org. So in today's episode, we'll go ahead and explain all of these news to our listeners. So it looks like, Satoshi, we have quite a lot of interesting things to cover in today's episode, and like we do in every Blockchain DXB podcast, we will be looking at 2 news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Do you want to tell our listeners, Satoshi, what are the 2 news we're going to be discussing in today's episode?
Certainly, George. We'll be discussing Standard Chartered and Circle launching integrated access to USDC, and the Department of Health in Abu Dhabi signing agreements to advance intelligent life sciences. Those are our key headlines from the region.
Definitely. And regarding the Department of Health in Abu Dhabi, they're working through genomics, artificial intelligence, research and healthcare investment. So it looks like the Emirate of Abu Dhabi is definitely taking leaps and bounds. And what I'm really liking is, this news is connected to health and well-being, so it looks like we have quite a lot of interesting things to cover in today's episode. But before we do that, a quick word from our sponsors. Hey everyone, this episode is powered by a new sponsor, that is Amana, and they are the region's first and fastest growing regulated all-in-one trading and investing app. So look, guys, whether you're looking into investing in US stocks like Apple or Tesla, or mega giants like ADNOC or Salik, Amana puts the financial markets on your fingertips. It includes gold, foreign exchange, ETFs, futures, commodities, and guess what, guys? They have over 375 cryptocurrencies, and this makes them the biggest crypto selection in the region. Now for the Blockchain DXB listeners, guys, if you want to go and build long-term wealth without thinking about it every day, explore Amana's pre-built auto investment plans, and all you have to do is set your monthly budget, choose your preferred asset category, and let Amana automate the investing for you. Zero fees, zero lockups, 100% customizable. And here's the thing, guys, funding your account is easier than ever. You can fund your account with Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit cards, instant bank deposits, and even crypto wallets. no friction and no hassles. And the best part is, guys, let's say if you need support, you would absolutely love Amana for this, cause they offer 24/6 human customer service, as well as a personalized sales support, real people, real help, and the customer support is in English as well as in Arabic. And for the Blockchain DXB listener and community, guys, I do have something really exclusive for you. What you can do is register with Amana using the code Blockchain DXB, or you can also use the link that is in the show notes below. And here's the best part, guys. Once you register, fund your account with a minimum of $100 and at least go ahead and make one trade, and then you'll receive a $100 trading bonus credit to your account the following month. But look, guys, it's real important to note, the bonus is non-withdrawable. It is there to help you trade and learn. So look, guys, if you're looking for a transparent, powerful and easy to use app, that's Amana for you. So what are you waiting for, guys? Download the app now, or you can also visit the website that is amana.app, and don't forget to use the code Blockchain DXB. And Amana, guys, is all markets one app. Next, guys, I'm happy to announce that Blockchain DXB is the official media partner with one of the OGs in the cryptocurrency and blockchain event space, and that is Blockchain Futuristic Conference taking place in Florida this year, as well as ETH Women taking place simultaneously. And trust me, guys, this is an event that you don't want to miss, isn't it? Cause for the very first time, North America's most immersive Web3 event is heading to the United States of America, and the Blockchain Futurist Conference and ETH Women event is actually taking place between the 5th and 6th of November. And the location is absolutely stunning, guys. It is taking place at Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, which is in Hollywood, Florida. That's right, guys. Palm trees, panels, and the biggest mind in blockchain and cryptocurrency is all in one place. So there will be multi-stage panels, NFT galleries, DeFi showcases, hand-on tech demos, metaverse experiences, even outdoor VIP cabanas, and quite a lot more. And the Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, guys, is one of the most iconic venues in the country. So look, guys, if you're in the Web3 space, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, or even artificial intelligence space, or just want to do some serious networking, this is the place that you got to be. And to all of you Blockchain DXB listeners, guys, we have something really interesting for you, because you can get a 25% off the tickets. So just use the code DXB25, and the link to the event as well as the code is in the show notes below. And as an official media partner, I'll be doing exclusive live coverage, interviews, behind the scenes access, and I will be spotlighting some of the most exciting projects shaping the future of decentralized finance tech. So if you're at the venue, guys, definitely come and say hi. Maybe we can catch up for a coffee as well. So listen, guys, the code is DXB25, and by using this code you will be eligible for a 25% discount. And the event is taking place between the 5th and 6th of November 2025 at the iconic Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, that is in Hollywood, Florida. And in the show notes below, guys, there's all contact details for Blockchain Futuristic Conference Florida 2025, as well as ETH Women. And look, guys, this is the future of blockchain technology brought into life. So don't just read about it. Be there and head to the website that is futuristconference.com and go ahead and use the code DXB25. So see you at the event. Next, Advanced Media. Advanced Media, guys, is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact, guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet and prosperity. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so, guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE. So definitely check it out. And also, guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing, and hosting training workshops, seminars, and community events that educate, inform, and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen, guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website that is www.amt.tv and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Wavespace Podcast. So check out the Wavespace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Wavespace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gulf Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform, check out the Wavespace Podcast across all leading platforms. And finally guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet, and this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below.
Now guys, since you're taking care of that, let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and run to the global cryptocurrency market. Now for Americans guys, yesterday was the 4th of July, and in the episode that we talked about last week, we did anticipate some numbers to be improving, and that is because of celebrations taking place in US, isn't it? So Maratin saying, Satoshi, because of that, the investor sentiment has actually picked up pace, and that is probably one of the reasons why the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have marginally picked up pace as well.
That's a valid point, George. The 4th of July celebrations usually bring a boost in sentiment, and that could very well be reflected in the market lately. It will be interesting to see if this momentum continues.
I'm so glad you mentioned that if the momentum continues. Now that thing being said guys, the global cryptocurrency market isn't looking that great, but in comparison to the past few weeks, the numbers have definitely improved, and right now the global cryptocurrency market is at $2.23 trillion. Now it is important to note guys that we are recording this episode in the early hours of Dubai, and technically it is still Sunday in most of the Western countries, and because of that the 24-hour volume is only at $46.30 billion. But here's the thing guys, I'm pretty much sure by the time you're listening to the episode, these numbers would be around the $100 billion mark, but unfortunately guys, the volume of decentralized exchanges isn't looking that great. It is only at $3.86 billion. And here's the thing guys, the total fees connected for these transactions is only at $54.79 million. And if you look at the total value locked, it is down to $74.32 billion. So look Satoshi, despite the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies pumping up, the volume of decentralized exchanges actually gone from bad to worse, so things are definitely not looking that great. Now look Satoshi, historically we already said this, now we do have a matrix that does give an assessment as to what the investor sentiment is, and this is regarding crypto ETF inflows and outflows. Now unfortunately guys, because of the long weekend, we do not have information regarding crypto ETF inflows and outflows, but here's the thing guys, regarding Bitcoin ETF, there were reports stating on the 3rd of July that there was significant amount of inflows only in the world of Bitcoin ETF, and check this out guys, the inflows in ETF accounted to $222 million. So Maratin saying, Satoshi, we can make an assessment because of the significant amount of inflows, the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are reacting positively.
That's quite interesting, George. The increased investor interest seen on July 3rd likely played a role in boosting those prices. Positive fund flows are often seen as a bullish signal.
Now what I want you to do next, Satoshi, is I want you to read out the matrix that is connected to decentralized exchange. So why don't you tell our listeners what is going on in the world of decentralized exchange, please?
Pump leads the 24-hour DEX volume with $1.003 billion, followed by Uniswap at $742.87 million and Aerodrome at $296.72 million. Bison Fi generated $169.78 million, and Meteora reached $117.29 million.
Well, thank you so much for that, Satoshi. Now look, as the engine of the cryptocurrency world is the volume of stable coins, isn't it? And unfortunately, guys, the numbers are definitely not looking that great. Tether USDT's volume is only at $43.53 billion. Circle USDC is at number 2nd with a 24-hour volume of $4.32 billion. And at number 3rd is FDUSD with a 24-hour volume of $350.11 million. And later on in today's episode, Satoshi will go ahead and discuss news regarding Revolut, where they've decided to go ahead and delist USDT. And this is because of MiCA regulations. Now what I want you to do next is, I want you to read out some matrix that is connected to Bitcoin, Ethereum as well as Binance BNB Coin for our listeners. So why don't you tell our listeners the market cap, the 24-hour trading volume and dominance of Bitcoin and Ethereum as well as Binance BNB Coin, please?
Bitcoin's market cap is sitting at $1.25 billion, with a 24-hour volume of $15.91 billion. Its dominance is 56.40%. For Ethereum, the market cap is $214.76 billion, and the volume is $10.13 billion, giving it 9.63% dominance. Binance has a market cap of $79.50 billion, with a 24-hour volume of $1.28 billion.
Well, thank you so much, Satoshi, for that. Now look, just few days ago was 4th of July, isn't it? So what I thought in today's episode, why don't we do one thing, Satoshi? Why don't we read out matrix that is connected to made in US coins? So why don't you tell our listeners what is going on regarding made in US coins, and also read out the matrix of the top 5 platform, please?
Certainly, George. Looking at the market for coins made in the USA, the total market cap is around $283 billion today. Now, that represents a slight dip, about 1.4% over the last day. As for the top platforms on that list, Circle's USDC leads with a market cap of $72.90 billion, followed by Ripple's XRP at $70.65 billion. Solana is a bit behind at $47.07 billion, then Figure HELOC at $19.71 billion, and Zcash with $7.75 billion.
Well, now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and tell our listeners what is going on regarding the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. Because the price of Bitcoin, if you look at it in terms of dollar amount, it is actually up by almost $3,000, isn't it? So why don't you tell our listeners the price of Bitcoin, what is going on since the last 24 hours and 7 days, and do the same thing for Ethereum as well as Binance BNB Coin for our listeners, please.
All right, George. Currently, Bitcoin is pricing at $62,739. It's down slightly by 0.84% in the last 24 hours, but up by 5.71% for the week. For Ethereum, the price is $1,779, showing a small decline of 0.77% since yesterday, though impressively up 13.64% over the last 7 days. Lastly, Binance BNB is trading at $589. It's seen an increase of 2.48% in the last 24 hours and 7.52% growth for the week.
Well, thank you so much for that, Satoshi. And here's the thing, guys. If you look at the fear and greed index, right now it is at fear. Last 2 weeks it was at extreme fear, isn't it? And the number right now is 27. Now, am I right in saying, Satoshi, if this particular trend continues, who's to say the fear and greed index will be improving, isn't it? And if that thing happens, now we do have a matrix to go out and check what the investor sentiment is. And that is connected to crypto ETF inflows and outflows. So for our listeners, what are the key metrics you recommend them to keep an eye on, at least for the next 24 to 48 hours?
You're right there, George. If the sentiment keeps improving from that 27 mark, we could see the fear and greed index shift into neutral or even positive territory. Now, to track investor sentiment more closely, keeping an eye on those ETF inflows and outflows, like you mentioned, is crucial. Also, watching the daily trading volume for major cryptos and stablecoin dominance can give a good sense of market demand and potential movements. These metrics can offer some insights within that 24 to 48 hour window.
Well, thank you so much for that, Satoshi. Now let's go ahead and talk about some important days in the month of July. And 14th of this month, Satoshi, the CPI data or the inflation data will be out, and for our listeners it is important to understand the only official sources to go and look at the CPI data or the inflation data is the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Now am I right in saying, Satoshi, lower than expected CPI data could actually boost the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies? At the same time, higher than anticipated inflation may actually have a strong pressure on the cryptocurrency market, and if that thing happens, the investor sentiment will be affected as well as in it.
That's exactly right, George. The CPI data coming out on the 14th from the Bureau of Labor Statistics is critical. If inflation comes in lower than economists anticipate, it could be viewed as a bullish signal for risk assets like Bitcoin, potentially driving the price up. On the other hand, if it's higher than expected, it might lead to concerns about ongoing pressure on the market and affect investor sentiment negatively, as you pointed out. It's a key number to watch.
And more importantly, Satoshi, inflation data will influence expectation for future Federal Reserve interest rate decision, and we'll definitely go ahead and touch base on that in just a matter of few minutes. But after that, on the 14th of July, the next day Satoshi is on the 17th of July. Now the reason why this date is important is because of the clarity occurring. And here's the thing, guys, the year-end could provide more clarity on how the US plans to regulate the cryptocurrency industry, and according to me, progress towards clear market structure rules would likely improve confidence among institutions and crypto businesses, and positive developments, guys, could be viewed as bullish for Bitcoin and the broader digital asset market as well as in it. But here's the thing, guys, it is also important to note the chances of it being approved is around 60%. So what is your take regarding 17th of July, Satoshi, where the clarity act hearing will actually take place?
Well, George, regarding that clarity hearing on July 17th, if it provides concrete guidance on market structure regulations, that could be a significant positive force. Increased confidence among institutional investors and businesses could definitely boost the market, potentially confirming that bullish outlook you described. However, given the current landscape, I'd suggest watching the specific language and outcomes closely before making any firm predictions, even with that high percentage of approval chance in mind. It's a wait-and-see moment.
And in the Blockchain DXB podcast, guys, we'll definitely go ahead and update you everything regarding the Clarity Act hearing. Now on the 18th of this month, we do have some information regarding Genius Act, and this is the final Genius Act stablecoin rules. And here's the thing, guys, 6 US federal agencies are due to publish the final rules governing stablecoins. And now one of the reasons why this is important is because clear regulations would accelerate adoption by banks, payment companies, and institutional investors. And whether we like it or not, guys, stronger stablecoin infrastructure may improve liquidity across the wider cryptocurrency market. So do you want to tell our listeners, Satoshi, the significance of the stablecoin rules?
Yes, absolutely, George. That July 17th clarity hearing could be a real turning point for U.S. regulations, potentially boosting confidence among institutional investors if it leads to clear guidelines. Then, moving to the 18th with the Genius Act, these final stablecoin rules from those 6 federal agencies are significant because they aim to create a safer, more transparent environment. This kind of structure could really encourage banks and larger businesses to embrace stablecoins, improving liquidity across the entire crypto market. It's all about building trust and infrastructure.
Do you want to tell our listeners, Satoshi, what are the 6 US federal agencies?
They include the Federal Reserve Board, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the National Credit Union Administration, and the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Well, thank you so much for that, Satoshi. And here's the thing, guys. Go out and look at information only from official sources, because mainstream media, they'll often put out a completely different narrative to what the actual facts are. Now, the next important day, Satoshi, is towards the end of this month, 29th of July to be precise, and this is when the FOMC announcement will actually take place. And here's the thing, guys, our Federal Reserve Board's interest rate decision will actually be a major driver of crypto market sentiment, and because now ships are flowing through Straits of Hormuz, the oil prices in the United States of America are significantly fallen down, and according to me on the 14th of July, based on information on CPI data along with plethora of information, at the FOMC announcement, they'll go ahead and make a decision whether to keep the interest rate, reduce it or increase it. And let's see if new Kevin Walsh does decide to go ahead and reduce the interest rate. The chances for that thing, according to me, Satoshi, is relatively less. Most likely he might actually keep the interest rate the same, at least for this month, and even that should be taken as a win for the Trump administration. But what I'd really urge our listeners to do is go ahead and check out the Federal Reserve Board website, look at the FOMC announcement yourself, and Kevin Walsh will actually go live on YouTube, where they will go ahead and give explanation regarding what the FOMC announcement is, and the decision to go ahead and reduce the interest rate, keep it the same or increase it. Now along with that, Satoshi, I do think there's another important date, but this is on the 9th of August, and this is connected to Cardano. And here's the thing, guys. Cardano's token, that is ADA, becomes eligible for SEC review for a potential spot ETF applications. That is important to note. While eligibility doesn't guarantee approval, it is an important step towards institutional investment product. So am I right in saying on the 9th of August, the prices of Cardano's token, that is ADA, will be significantly impacted as well?
George, I'll definitely be watching the Federal Reserve's rate decision on July 29th, because that could really steer the crypto market, depending on where they go. Then, moving to August 9th, Cardano's ADA token becoming eligible for SEC review for a spot ETF is a big step for institutional adoption, which could seriously impact its price. Those are a couple of major dates to mark, George.
Definitely, Satoshi, and in the Blockchain DXB podcast, guys, we'll definitely go ahead and touch base on the announcement regarding these dates. Now let's go ahead and talk about a real interesting news, and this is connected to MiCA, that is Market and Crypto Asset Regulations, all the way from Europe, and a company called as Wavespace, guys. They've launched a MiCA compliant self-custody Bitcoin debit card, but it is important to know this is only for users across Eurozone. Now what I really like regarding this card, Satoshi, is the card uses Lightning Network with Nostr Wallet Connect to automatically top up payments directly from a user's self-custody Bitcoin wallet. And regarding this launch, guys, they are aiming to make spending Bitcoin faster, more secure, and fully compliant with Europe's crypto regulations. And so far as Wavespace is concerned, guys, they also plan to expand its Bitcoin payment services in the United States of America. Now, if you do need more information regarding this, an article is actually published by Bitcoin Magazine. But what is your take regarding this, Satoshi? I definitely like the fact that they're using Lightning Network, but do you want to briefly explain to our listeners, Satoshi, what Lightning Network is? And after that, why don't you explain to the listeners, how does this card use Lightning Network and connect it to Nostr Wallet Connect? And how can users automatically top up payments directly from user self-custody Bitcoin wallet?
Well, George, this Wavespace card using Lightning Network is a pretty big deal for making Bitcoin faster and easier to spend. The Lightning Network basically acts like a second layer on top of Bitcoin's main blockchain, processing transactions much quicker and with lower fees by handling them off-chain first. Now, by connecting to Nostr Wallet Connect, the card can communicate with your self-custody wallet securely, letting you automatically top up for payments without needing to manually move funds every time. It's designed to make spending Bitcoin feel just like using a regular debit card, but with the added benefits of BTC and MiCA compliance. Does that make sense to you, George?
It does make a lot of sense, Satoshi, and for our listeners, it is important to understand when you talk about Lightning Network, it is essentially opening a channel between two parties. You go ahead and make back and forth transactions, close the channel, and only after you go ahead and close the channel, the transaction gets recorded on Bitcoin Network, isn't it? Am I right in saying, Satoshi, that is the simplest way of explaining what Lightning Network is?
Yes, exactly, George. You've captured the core idea perfectly. It's like keeping a tab running off-chain and then settling the final total on the main ledger at the end. That's a simple and clear explanation.
But here's the thing, guys, a lot of detractors of Bitcoin, they often say that Lightning Network is lightning years away from mainstream adoption. So do you want to very briefly tell our listener, Satoshi, what are some of the major hurdles in implementing Lightning Network?
Sure, George. One major hurdle is managing channel capacity, ensuring there's enough Bitcoin on both ends of a channel to handle transactions. There's also the complexity of finding a payment route through a network, which can get tricky as it grows. Security and usability are also persistent concerns, making the experience more seamless for regular users. Those are some of the main ones, George.
Well, thank you so much for that, Satoshi. And here's the thing, guys, I do have another project called as bitcoindxb.org, where you can find everything regarding Lightning Network. I go ahead and explain what Lightning Network is at a basic level, advanced level, and technical level. And if you do need any information regarding Lightning Network, Blockstream's website has all the information connected to Lightning Network. I believe they also have the white paper regarding that. Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and touch base on Solana blockchain, because they have launched a new on-chain governance system, giving validators and token holders a formal way to vote on network's future. But here's the thing, guys. Validators must have at least 100,000 Solana tokens that needs to be staked to submit governance proposals, while stakers can override how the validator votes, and proposals require community support before moving to a vote, and need at least a 2/3 majority to pass. That is important to note, guys. This particular update does give token holders bigger role in shaping Solana's future through a transparent, stake-weighted voting system. Now, what do you make of this particular initiative, Satoshi? Do you find any loopholes with such an on-chain governance system?
Well, George, on the plus side, this new system gives actual community members, like validators and token holders, a real say in Solana's future, which can build trust. And requiring 100,000 Solana for proposals prevents spam submissions. However, potential loopholes could be that wealthy participants with huge stakes might have outsized influence, even just through voting. and smaller token holders might feel their impact is minimal. Stakers having the power to override validators is interesting, but it could also create unexpected dynamics. So those are some things we'd have to watch out for.
So am I right in saying Satoshi does raise the question of centralization? Because only people who have tokens, they are in a better position to go out and vote, isn't it?
That's a valid point, George. It does raise questions about centralization, since those with more tokens wield more power, which can sometimes concentrate decision-making. That's definitely something to consider with any on-chain governance model.
Now Satoshi, based on the information that is provided on the GitHub website, what changes or what advice you'd like to go ahead and give to the governance system? If you were to make any changes or give them any advice, what would that be?
Based on that information, one piece of advice might be to consider establishing a minimum participation threshold, or quorum, for votes to be valid. The document mentions none currently, which could mean a proposal passes with very low turnout, potentially lacking true community mandate. Another area might be to clarify how directional decisions are defined, perhaps providing more specific examples to prevent confusion between what belongs in an SGP versus a SIMD. Those are some initial thoughts, George.
And for our listeners, if you do want to find out more information regarding the on-chain governance system by Solana, all of the information is actually published on GitHub. Now let's go ahead and discuss the next use Satoshi, and this is connected to MiCA regulations. And Revolut, which I believe is a fintech firm, they have decided to delist USDT from its platform. And so far as purchases are concerned, guys, they will be ending today, that is 6th of July, and a full removal will be taking place on the 31st of August 2026. And regarding existing customers, they've already been informed regarding this news. I'm pretty much sure they might have received a newsletter, maybe even a personalized email if you do have a lot of USDT. Now it is important to note, guys, users must sell or withdraw the USDT before the deadline, or any remaining balance will be automatically converted into the local currency. Now the company has said that the decision was made due to regulatory and risk considerations, but did not specify which rules prompted them to remove that particular delisting. Now it is important to note, guys, the delisting definitely reflects growing regulatory pressures on stablecoins, particularly under Europe's MiCA framework. So am I right in saying, Satoshi, look, regulations are definitely great, but at the same time, they can definitely cause such situations where a lot of wallet service providers or centralized exchange will be forced to go ahead and delist certain tokens and cryptocurrencies?
That's right, George. Revolut's decision to delist USDT for European customers is a clear sign of the practical impact of evolving regulations, particularly with the MiCA framework looming. It shows how these rules are pushing platforms like Revolut to make changes to stay compliant. For users, it highlights the importance of staying aware of these timelines and taking action, like selling or withdrawing your assets before services are withdrawn. It's definitely a significant development.
Now look, Satoshi, according to me, regulations are definitely great, particularly when there's a centralized entity involved. And according to me, look, when you talk about rules and regulations, their aim is to go out and protect investors, average individual users, and ensure that the market has an equal playing field, isn't it?
That's right, George. When rules are implemented properly, their main purpose is indeed to safeguard investors, maintain market integrity, and help create a fairer environment for everyone participating, especially individual users. That's a key benefit of regulation.
Now I'm pretty much sure, Satoshi, a lot of other exchanges will be delisting USDT as well. Let's see what the drama regarding MiCA regulations are. Now let's go on and discuss some interesting news regarding Ethereum and Vitalik Buterin, guys. He did actually post something really important on X, and this is connected to Ethereum Strong and the website, guys, is strongmap.org. And essentially, guys, in his post, he has outlined a multi-year plan to reinvent the network while at the same time minimizing disruption of existing applications. Now the roadmap, guys, also includes quantum-resistant security, faster consensus, recursive stock verification, strong privacy and major scalability improvements. And Ethereum, guys, also plans to introduce new state storage models that could significantly reduce transaction costs for many applications. And future upgrades are also expected to increase gas limits, improve throughput and make network more efficient over time. And Vitalik Buterin in this post also said, guys, that these changes represent Ethereum's major evolution, similar in scale to that of Merge. And regarding the upgrades, guys, the upgrades will roll out gradually over the next 3 to 5 years, with a strong focus on security, scalability, and long-term sustainability. Now, what do you make of this particular news, Satoshi? Now look, Vitalik Buterin, he's such an influential person in the Ethereum game, isn't it? And a lot of Bitcoin maximalists, they don't like 1% being the voice of Ethereum. So there are positives as well as negative aspects, particularly when you look at it from a Bitcoin maximalist point of view, isn't it?
That's definitely true, George. Vitalik's influence is immense, and that draws both fervent support and criticism. For Bitcoin maximalists, the idea of a single prominent voice, like Vitalik's, contradicts the principle of decentralization they value, which is why they might see it as a negative, compared to Bitcoin's lack of a visible leader. It's a classic difference in philosophy between the main cryptos.
Now, for advocates of Ethereum and who are detractors of Bitcoin, the only thing I can say is Michael Saylor is kind of like the voice of Bitcoin now, isn't it? And the moment Michael Saylor says something positive regarding Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin does actually pump up, so you can make an argument that Michael Saylor is an influential person in the Bitcoin world as well. But nonetheless, definitely interesting news. So these were some macro level newscasts on the Bitcoin blockchain cryptocurrency world. Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and look at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now the first newscast is a really interesting news, and the news is that Standard Chartered has partnered with Circle to offer institutional access to USDC, and clients can now create as well as redeem USDC directly through Standard Chartered. And Standard Chartered, guys, is the first globally systemic important bank to offer this service. And here's the important thing to note: clients do not need to open a separate account with Circle. The service that is offered by Standard Chartered provides a fast and simpler way to move money between traditional finance and blockchain. Essentially, it connects bank accounts, digital assets and public blockchain all in one platform. And the solution, guys, is designed for institutional clients such as banks, corporations and investment firms, and it does support treasury management and corporate cash management, and it also helps institutions manage liquidity more efficiently. And the platform, guys, can be used for on-chain settlements as well. And regarding Standard Chartered, they plan to support payment use cases in the future, and it is important to note, guys, the service follows the bank strict compliance, governance and risk management standards, and clients can access banking, custody and digital asset services through one integrated solution. And the service, guys, is launching first to Standard Chartered DFC operations in Dubai, and the bank also plans to expand the service to more countries pending regulatory approval. Now look, guys, demand from institutions from regulated stablecoin services are continuing to grow, and look, guys, the partnership aims to make it easier for institutions to use USDC in payments, settlements and digital asset markets. And according to me, look, Satoshi, the launch strengthens the US position as a leading global hub for regulated digital assets, isn't it? So this news, according to me, is definitely great. But what is your take regarding this news, Satoshi? What is your view regarding this news? And do you also want to tell our listeners, how does the industry actually benefit by it? And do you anticipate other stablecoin issuers, let's say like Tether USDT, to make a similar move? And thirdly, why don't you also tell our listeners, how can end users actually benefit because of this news?
Well, George, this Standard Chartered and Circle partnership seems like a potentially pivotal moment, especially for institutional adoption. The key factor is providing a direct, streamlined path for large entities to access USDC within a regulated framework, which could significantly reduce friction. Being the first major global systemically important bank to do this adds a lot of legitimacy and may set a new standard. It directly addresses regulatory concerns by adhering to strict compliance and governance, which is often a barrier for institutions. Starting in the DIFC in Dubai strategically places it in a growing digital asset hub, aiming to facilitate payments and settlements on-chain. Overall, it signals a maturing market where traditional finance is increasingly connecting with blockchain technology. Regarding industry contribution, George, I see it potentially stabilizing market sentiment as more regulated players join the network. It also pressures blockchains to keep improving scalability and performance to meet institutional demands. As for other stablecoins like Tether, I think they'll likely continue to emphasize their own security and reserve transparency, but might face increasing pressure to seek regulated routes to maintain relevance alongside something like this. And users, on the other hand, get a much simpler, faster way to move money between crypto and traditional finance, allowing for easier treasury management and corporate cash management directly. It essentially provides a more efficient service all around.
Well, thank you so much for your valuable insight, Satoshi. Now let's go ahead and discuss the next news for today. And this is from the Emirate of Dubai. And the news causes that Abu Dhabi has signed 22 new healthcare and life science agreement during the US mission. And this particular partnership focuses on genomics, artificial intelligence, biotechnology, precision medicine, as well as advanced therapies. And the mission cause included visit to San Francisco, San Diego, as well as Los Angeles. And more than 40 senior leaders from 16 organizations took part, and the delegations held at least 30 strategic meetings and 15 site visits. Now look, Abu Dhabi is building a highly connected, intelligent life science ecosystem, and the goal is pretty simple, guys. They want to turn scientific discoveries into real healthcare benefit faster, and the Department of Health in Abu Dhabi, they partnered with Boehringer, Ingelheim, Novartis, as well as Eli Lilly, and these partnerships will advance research in artificial intelligence-driven genomics, obesity and Alzheimer's diseases. In M42, Abu Dhabi Biobank and BioTwin are expanding virtual human twin technologies in the United Arab Emirates. In Majda City, M42 and Attentive Science launched Biosphere Labs, and this was done to boost biotech research and help 71 guys. Their startup called as Biosapien has also moved into phase 1 of the clinical trials, and Mubadala Bio guys, they partnered with Biocedes to expand local manufacturing of biological medicines, and Department of Health in Abu Dhabi guys, along with Biochem California, created a new Abu Dhabi California Life Services Corridor. And Abu Dhabi Biobank and Bascom Palmer Institute will establish the Middle East's first eye bank in Abu Dhabi. And regarding the eye bank guys, they will focus to improve transplants, research, education and sight restoring care. And look, as overall the mission strengthens Abu Dhabi's position as a global hub for AI-powered healthcare and life sciences innovation. This news is absolutely great, isn't it, Satoshi? What do you make of this particular news?
George, it looks like Abu Dhabi is making a hugely strategic push to solidify itself as a global healthcare and life sciences hub. The sheer number of agreements, 22, covering everything from genomics to AI research and technology partnerships with major companies and institutions, demonstrates a serious commitment. Establishing partnerships with leaders like Boehringer Ingelheim and Novartis, while also creating direct links with Biocom California, builds strong international bridges. On-chain governance, like with Biosphere Labs and the iBank, shows an investment in advanced infrastructure. Their aim to move from treatment to preventative care is also very forward-thinking. Overall, the scope and depth of these agreements seem designed to significantly accelerate their growth in these modern fields. It seems like a strong strategic foundation.
Now, because you're in the world of blockchain technology, Satoshi, do you want to tell our listeners what role blockchain technology can actually play in this?
Blockchain could play a crucial role in securing genomic data, ensuring privacy while still allowing authorized researchers to access anonymized data securely. It could also track the pharmaceutical supply chain for medicines produced locally, fighting counterfeits. For things like clinical trials, it would provide an immutable record of results, improving transparency. Basically, blockchain brings trust and security to all these different areas. George?
But am I right in saying, Satoshi, all the things that you said would make sense on a permission blockchain as opposed to, let's say, open blockchain? Because look, in an open blockchain, the blockchain trilemma problem still exists, isn't it? So according to me, look, either work on a centralized blockchain or better work on a software, isn't it?
You have a point there, George. Especially for sensitive data like genomics or personal health records, a permission blockchain could provide the necessary privacy controls while still offering transparency to authorized parties, essentially getting the best of both worlds without struggling with the public blockchain trilemma. Centralized systems like traditional software can also work, though they lack the transparent audit trail of a private blockchain. It really depends on the specific needs of each partnership. That's a good distinction.
Well, thank you so much for your valuable insights, Satoshi. So look, as these were some macro level news on the Bitcoin blockchain, cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence world from blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series, alright?
Sure, George. Let's go ahead and kickstart the Ask Me Anything series. I'm curious to check what questions listeners have in store for us.
Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. We have a question from Sam who asks, could MiCA compliant Bitcoin debit cards finally make spending Bitcoin part of everyday life? This, to be honest, Satoshi, is such an interesting question, isn't it? But look, when you talk about making Bitcoin for regular purchases, I don't think so a lot of people will be motivated to go out and use it for regular purchases, isn't it? What is your take regarding it, Satoshi? Because look, the prices of Bitcoin is so volatile. Just a little over 5 months ago, it was $126,000. Now it is almost half of that. And right now, when you talk about Bitcoin, it is always a hodl mentality, isn't it? That is hold on to dear life. Now, I'm not saying that this particular news is great, because implementing Lightning Network, according to me, is a great idea and initiative. But when you talk about the facts of it, Satoshi, I don't think so people will be spending Bitcoin as part of everyday life. Rather, they are now focused on hodling it, isn't it? That is what my take is regarding this question by Sam.
George, I think you've raised a really valid point about the tension between volatility and the hodl mentality. While MiCA-compliant debit cards make the mechanics of spending Bitcoin easier, the fact that its value can swing so dramatically does encourage people to hold on, hoping for future price increases, rather than using it for daily purchases. So it might provide the technical capability, but unless the price stabilizes significantly, pervasive adoption for routine transactions seems unlikely to catch on quickly. It's more of a nice to have than a game changer for now.
What about a stablecoin debit card, Satoshi? But again, why would you want to use a stablecoin debit card? You may as well use your fiat debit card, isn't it? Because stablecoins essentially back one-to-one to US dollar. And now with MiCA regulations, and other countries want stablecoin to be backed by their own native currency, I don't see a use case of debit card that is essentially backed by a stablecoin as well.
That's a fair point, George, about the overlap with traditional fiat debit, since stablecoins are pegged to currency anyway. The main difference would be if someone already holds lots of stablecoins from their crypto trading profits and wants to spend them without converting back to fiat, or for cross-border transactions where a stablecoin could skip certain currency fees. But you're right, for everyday use, the benefit might be minimal unless those specific situations apply. It's more about flexibility with existing digital assets.
I'm so glad you talked about that profits could be converted into stablecoin, and then if that particular stablecoin were connected to a debit card, in that case it'll definitely make a lot of sense. So look, the idea regarding Bitcoin debit card sounds great, but I don't see many people using it. But news such as the Satoshi, am I right in saying, definitely puts Bitcoin at the forefront, and a lot of major banks, they will now be respecting Bitcoin as a form of payment as well, isn't it?
Exactly, George. While those banking and stablecoin partnerships might gain prominence, you're right that widespread merchant acceptance for direct Bitcoin payments is still a significant hurdle, partly due to regulatory uncertainty and price volatility. However, every development like this does push the conversation forward and forces major institutions to evaluate it. It keeps it relevant.
Well, that is definitely a great question, Simon. Thank you so much for your valuable insights, Satoshi. And that's about all, guys, on the Ask Me Anything Series on Blockchain DXB. Like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Remember, Monday to Thursdays, we are Blockchain DXB podcast. We look at the process, we look at the latest technological development, we talk about geopolitics, we talk about everything going on at the macro level. Then, guys, we look at 2 news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. We look at the latest technological development. Artificial intelligence is definitely a hot topic in the Middle East, and the Middle East, guys, is definitely taking leaps and bounds in the world of AI. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.